Morning. Hey, folks, this is Brian. We got to play RQG last night. Well, sort of. One of the players was not able to make it, and he's one of our mainstream players. So we just kind of, and one of my other players was going to show up late. So we did some chat about different sorts of stuff, and then we sort of kind of started playing because the lowercase heroes, the characters have been following this trail up towards the odd tower. And as they get close to the odd tower, because the upland marsh has been increasing recently, it has actually come around the tower. The tower used to butt up against the marsh, but now the marsh has kind of surrounded it. But it's up on kind of a hill, and there's this big hill place that the tower itself is built on. And there's like a cave entrance into the hill, but on the tower itself, they're just a window here, a window there. But then there's the top of the tower, which has a deck around it with a rail and then a roof kind of thing. And there's a doorway up there open right into the tower on that top level. And so they're looking around and they decide, it's swamp in between them and the hill that the tower is on. So they decide to truck through it, and I make a handful of luck type rolls. Well, the players do to see what happens to which one kind of thing, because there are river dragons in the swamp, including 2 giant river dragons. I probably should have rolled for the number instead of just doing a set number, because there were 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 river dragons and then 2 giant river dragons, crocodiles, and they're sneaky, right? I made rolls for all of them. There were 2 that missed their hide. All the rest of them made their hides, and all of them made their move quietly. So there's sneaking around. Eyeballs pop up, look around, pop up, look around. So I had the players make scan rolls, and 2 of them did. So 2 of them aren't surprised. So there's R, and then based upon these luck rolls, determines did the giant river dragon attack them, or just a river dragon, or perhaps 2 river dragons, that kind of thing. And so I kind of pieced out the party. I probably should just put them in a single file line kind of deal. But I kind of split them 2 and 2. They did have a Juchi, their archer guy, stay in the back just to cover them as they went across, kind of deal. And then, oh, I forgot something. The Fetch's owl is up on the rail on that top level, just kind of scanning around. But they were using the Fetch. This is one of those, I've got not issues, but concerns about rules with spirits and fetches and communication. And it says that the shamanist fetch are in constant communication, even when the fetch is possessing the shaman's body and the shaman's in the spirit world. So it's like there's no distance issue at all. So you could have a shaman with his fetch anywhere in the world spying on stuff. That just, unless, they've got, defensive magic capabilities stuff put up. And that doesn't sit well with me. I'm thinking there should be some kind of, range limit, right? And we kind of use this when I used the fetch to spy out the chaos grounds in an earlier session, where, okay, give them instructions, the fetch does his thing, comes back, this is what I found, blah, 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 that kind of stuff. And so, and I remember something about the fetch being able to sense power out to its power in meters. It's got a range on its sensory kind of thing, right? And then it's got, essentially, I would give it second sight, just like the fetch has, or the shaman has second sight automatically. And so they're using the fetch to spy out the tower. And it's noonish, right? So sun's up in the top, spring, so it would be down. So, oh man, that's right. So the sky dome was shifted, and it's coming back. And it's noon. So one side of the tower would be lighter than the other. Oh, that's true, but there weren't any. Okay, so the sunlight could be hitting some of the windows and maybe an arrow slit or two at an angle, from the top, but then you got a shade from the tower's upper level thing. And I'm trying to figure out, can this thing actually see inside the tower? Because there's no inside light, right? But there are arrow slits on the far side and there are windows on this side. So, there's some we will tell certain things, I guess. But they're looking, bottom layer though is completely dark. Where is it? Oh shoot! Because there are some windows on one side, holes in the dirt, right? Actually, slit kind of stuff. Yeah, I have to rethink that one. But anyway, so bottom level, completely dark. Okay, don't mess with that. Go to the first level. There's a window here. Peek inside. Uh, room. Roll for random encounters. No living creatures. Next level, windows over here. Small room. About half the tower across. Oh, it's about like 11, 12 meters across. Small room. Random encounters. Nothing here. Third level. There were bandits here, but there's a chance. Well, the bandits did spy. The bandits saw them coming because the bandits keep a spy up at the top level, right? And I'm looking. Okay, how concerned are the bandits going to be about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 adventurers? One's a heavy fighter with a great axe kind of thing. Another one's a standard Rolanthe sword and shield. One's not wearing anything at all, but has, there's this owl out there flying, following around with them, or stay kind of be on his shoulder kind of thing. And then another guy, probably a light fighter. He's got a rapier. He's wearing Cabrili and Lymphorax, right? And then there's the archer. The archer back has, I think it's a light fighter armor kind of stuff. I think, but these guys they're bandits, right? They've got 2-point leather on the chest, 1-point leather on the abdomen. Except for the leader, he's kind of a fighter. He's got some stuff, but they're not that experienced necessarily. And these guys are trekking towards the tower. So, do we set up an ambush? Do we stay and fight, or do we just skedaddle? So I think I ended up rolling just a d6 die. I probably should have done my 3d6 versus d20 deal, reaction kind of stuff. Determine what they were going to do, but I just had them skedaddle, and they've got an escape rope out the back of the top of the tower. So that level, nothing there, and then they get to the top. They can see through that it's kind of hollow and how it's set up and that kind of stuff, and that's when the owl flew up and landed on the thing, scanning it out, and the party starts across the marsh. Because this is a high point on this side of the marsh, and that sort of thing. So this is where it's thinness, but it's still deep enough for river dragons, right? The river dragons attack. One gets a bite out of Miriam's shield in her left leg, and one of the giant river dragons gets what's his name? JJ. Not Juji, it's the other guy. Shoot! Our chariot driver. Dang, I'm sorry. It's early in the morning for me. I just got up and not thinking straight. But he gets right in the chest and picks his chest down to -2. So he's unconscious. Should be coughing up blood. I talk to the guys about adjusting the bleeding risk. So the only reason you bleed in Runequest is if your limb gets mangled or amputated, and they start losing 1 point per round. Sorry, rolled up on my foot. Sure. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, the chart doesn't talk about bleeding at all, so I need to pin that back, pin that on there because it's in the book. I believe it's when you take triple damage, get your amputation or mangled thing, then you start losing 1 point per round as well. But in the chest, unconscious, can't do anything. He's going to die in 10 minutes. Maybe that's why, because dying 10 minutes, you don't have to worry about bleeding out. Because 10 minutes is 50 melee rounds. Nobody's got 50 hit points. Interesting idea. I like that. But anyway, so he's unconscious, can't do anything. And I have to decide, okay, is it deep enough for the river dragon to spin? Right? In which case, they don't have to hit it in, they just keep doing damage to that hit location. Yeah. 5d6 to your chest as you're at -2. Not a good deal. But it's a giant river dragon, so okay, no, he's not in water. It's the marsh. You know, if you dragged him out, he probably could have done that. Would one of the regular river dragons done it? Again, I don't think so. I think it's still too shallow for that kind of a thing, so I didn't bother with that stuff. But Miriam wants to book it out of there, and Arestra wants to throw up coordination and then follow Miriam back, trying to interpose himself between her and the river. There were 2 river dragons on her, and then there was 1 giant river dragon and 2 other river dragons that Dave and Arestra saw beforehand. So the river dragons, in order to differentiate the surprise, I put them back a distance so it takes time to get to attack to move forward. So that's what they're doing. They're coming forward, and then David's player was not able to make it, so Arestra's player was running him. We talked a little bit about his magic because I remember some stuff, but not everything, and he usually casts strength, so he can actually do some real damage with that puny rapier. And so they have David cast strength and then try and grab Jarstakos, that's his name, Jarstakos, from the river dragon and get it out kind of thing, because the river dragon bit him, but he can't do his spin thing, so he's gonna bite him again. And so you got to time it, job bows up, pull him out kind of thing. So that's what we did. And with a 20 strength now, David can fairly easily pull Jarstakos size 13 out. Then we do a quick recalculation of his encumbrance. So by the way, live play is in the description, but there's a lot of dead time where I'm trying to look up rules, trying to figure out what we're doing with this stupid fetch. We need more rules on how this stuff works. And pull them out and start running, because the river dragons are coming in and they're moving out, and they can move faster than river dragons. And David ended up at -1 on his movement, so he's moving at 7 instead of 8. But the river dragons are moving at 6. So the players are eventually going to outpace the river dragons. The river dragons aren't really going to go outside of the marsh, so the party gets away. They do a heal 3 on Jarstakos and then do first aid. He's positive 3. Positive 3 hit points in his chest. He had a lot of hit points. He had like 7. He took 9 points of damage. Yeah, massive. So they kind of pull back. So, okay, how are we gonna do this? Now getting back to the stupid fetch and what it can and can't do. And because it's a spirit, right? I do make him manifest the spirit in order to do things on the middle world, right? So material plane kind of thing. So it's got to be there. It can't do things. Look, it could do things a spirit plane, but there's mirrors kind of stuff, but it's not the same. So if you want to, otherwise you get kind of lost and distracted and all that kind of stuff. So it's looking around. When it first went up there, yeah, there's lots of creatures out here. This is the marsh, and all of them are within the 5 points of your power. So that's super strong to this for a week. I already decided that it does have senses like the shaman has senses, which gives it some vulnerability kind of stuff, because We ran into that when we did the chaos spot where the reek was so nasty you had a Constitution saving throw, which they failed. Now a second think about that. I don't know, but it's got eyes, right? It's got a nose and ears. It can hear, so it should be able to smell and taste and see. It can see, obviously, right? So it should be able to hear, and so it should be able to smell. And it can see, I guess, like a normal person. Plus, it's got the second sight deal. But instant mental communication at any distance, I just don't see that. I just don't see it. I was going to put it at power and meters kind of thing. If you want instant communication, otherwise you got to talk to it. It's got to come back and forth. That's what I'm thinking. We'll have to discuss that with the group. Because otherwise, like I said, secondary effects in the universe. You got a shaman, he's spying on everybody. He could be spying on everybody everywhere, kind of thing. And that's just too dangerous and doesn't taste right for the environment to me. Now, well, I don't know. You get to a place, lots of spirits around. Yeah, you can see lots of stuff happening. I just don't know. Second thing, spirit combat with animals, because that's what as Miriam was booking out. The owl did actually see some movement, so it's coming down, but it's at the top of this tower. It's going to take it 2 rounds to get down here. The fetch could probably get down here around because spirits move so fast, right? And and a spirit can move through material things, right? Through walls and floors and all that kind of stuff. But it can't necessarily sense through those things, which is something I did find. The second sight is blocked by stuff, thankfully. But fetch can sense power, within its range. Maybe that's just on the spirit plane, because spirit, that's how you get interaction. How close is the interaction when you run to spirit? It's your meters away. Maybe think about that. Like that helps. So it comes down, and the intent was to do spirit combat with one of the river dragons. River dragons have no spirit combat skill, and since they don't have charisma, their powers, about 11, 12, 10, 11, 12. They're doing a D. They would do a D3 if they did any damage. So in the back of my head, I'm thinking, okay, if you can in fact engage animals in spirit combat, and I'm still not sure about that. Though part of me says, well, why not? They would have some kind of innate natural ability to defend themselves, and so that'd be the baseline. Give them 20%. So I'm thinking. So part of me thinks, well, yeah, a spirit can engage an animal in spirit combat, and it would just wipe it out down to 0 magic points, and then it's unconscious. So Miriam could send her fetch out and just start knocking all these things unconscious. There would eventually, over time, be a chance where it could do some damage to Miriam, in which case it would wear her magic points down, and so it would just be a time drag to figure out how long would it take for Miriam to actually get all the river dragons unconscious so they can cross the marsh on their own without worrying about being attacked by these things. That kind of deal. Arrestor, while making plans stuff, Arrestor does kind of go around, and that's how she finds out, it is deeper around, and it's all marsh, that kind of stuff. So I just don't know. I don't know. I guess I'll check out the BRP chat room stuff to see if anybody's discussed that out there. But that's just one of those weird, I just don't know things. Part of me says, yeah, in which case just a time impossible magic point drain before it occurs. And the part going, they're animals. Why would you? Because all the spirit combat rules are about other spirits attacking you as a player. You defending yourself because you're a material being. You can't do that kind of thing. No, Spruce, be happy. Happy gaming.